good morning, and good morning. I'm looking at. I'm realizing that my wristwatch is like 5 minutes off, and so maybe that's been my problem my last couple of days. But anyway, it is exactly 9 o'clock. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? How have you been since Wednesday? Today is Friday. Already, it's a going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day, and the weekend is. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready to rest a little bit. It's been one of those weeks where there's been a lot of preparation for things and trying to get them to the point where they're suitable, but then you still may fall short. Okay, that is life. That's who we are. We can't always be at the head of the class. Sometimes we're in the middle of the class or we're at the back of the class, not because we didn't try, but because everyone else we put before us. Plain and simple. Everything else became more important than we did. So I've had it said I've had a good run this week, and so I'm ready for the weekend. What are your plans? Tomorrow I know I have a funeral of a good friend's mom who passed away, so I'm going to do that on tomorrow, and then I was invited to a cookout, and then I'm going to pick somebody up from the airport. So I'm busy. I am going to be busy tomorrow. Sunday is church, and I'm ready for church. I'm ready for some good, hearing of a message and singing some songs that really get me to the point where I'm ready and prepared for the next week. That's how I use Sundays. Sundays is my preparation day. My Sunday school, then the message, and then maybe hanging out a minute with friends, and maybe not, maybe coming home like I did last week and I crashed and burned and realized I spent 4 hours taking a nap, but then I went to bed and slept all night. So it is what it is. But today I wanted to talk about, the whole concept of being kind. And sometimes we lose that. We lose that in our disposition. We lose that in our concentration. We lose that in our orientation. We just forget that we need to be kind. I don't know. It's always been my character that I wanted to be that. I wanted it to be a part of who I am. And when I leave this world, that somebody can say, but she was kind. Um, to me, kindness is something that can be so freely given. But some people, because they may never receive it, don't know how to give it. And because they've never been taught that kindness may be the entry into other things, friendships, love ships, you know, ownerships of different things, a part of business, all of that, all of that, entrepreneurships. But we first have to decide how we want to live our lives. Good morning, Joan. Good morning, Adelia. How are you both? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for dropping in. You all are always so special to me when I see those names pop in. It always makes my heart feel really, really good. But today, because I wanted to talk about kindness, and I didn't pick a big word today, because I want, when I'm sometimes getting ready for the weekend, I want you to concentrate, just like I do, on something that's manageable. And to be kind is something that, to me, is it's an internal thing. It's an internal feeling. If you feel you want to be kind, I would always, as a child, remember when people were not kind to me, and I would go home and ask my mother, but why? Why? What did I do? What did I do to them? I don't understand. And my mother would say, sometimes that's just how people are. They don't have any intention of being kind to you. And in the process, as I got older, I thought that they were also not kind to themselves. If you walk around mad all the time, walking around always with a reason to be criticizing others, then there's not any room. You filled your space up, your heart up, your head up with things that I feel are unnecessary. Thank you, Angela. Angela says kindness is so easy to give to others. It is, if that is your makeup. I agree. I agree. And I can say throughout my lifetime, I've probably been hurt a few times because I do give. I do give, and because we were raised like that as givers. But some people who were not, holla. Good morning, Debbie. But people who weren't raised to be givers don't know the reason for kindness. They don't get it if they were not raised or they never received it. Because to me, in order for you to understand kindness, you have to feel it, that somebody gave it to you, did something nice for you, said something nice to you, um, took you someplace, those kinds of things. Then you can get in touch with it. But if you've never had those experiences, or you find more, some people find more reason not to be kind because it gives them more reason for people to stay away from them, or for them to be known as this person that's kind of mean. I don't want to be mean. I want to be kind. I don't want to be critical. I want to be reasonable and willing to work with others. That's what I want. But it doesn't always come out like that. It says, if one doesn't feel good about themselves, they would find it hard to be kind to or to love. Absolutely, Joan. I truly believe that. I truly believe that through the years that I've been around now. I believe that if people don't know love, they don't know kindness. Or if they know kindness and it was given to them in a form of love, then they can get in touch with it. It's almost that they feel it in their heart and in their head, that every time they see certain people or certain actions occur, they feel that thing. It's there for them. So anyway, I found two poems this morning. One is it's kind of cutesy, but I loved it. I just thought it was really cool. And it doesn't have a name by it. So if someone owns it out there, I say it's anonymous on the internet, but if you own it, it is yours. It is not, these are not my words. And the first one says, be kind to the wishers who haven't got wishes. Be kind to the fishers who haven't got fishes. Be kind to the beginners who haven't got ends. Be kind to the stranger who haven't got friends. Be kind to the walkers who haven't got a shoe, who haven't a shoe. Be kind to the talkers who haven't a clue. Be kind to the outsiders and the insiders too. Be kind to the kind, kept confined in the zoo. Be kind in your mind and all that you do, and you will find that mankind can be kind to you. Cute, really, really cute little poem, but it keeps the idea that kindness may be important to some of us. It may have a reason to make sure that not only is it available, but it's there for a good reason. It says, I see it definitely. If you didn't experience kindness as a child or in your young adult life, then you want to give it because something fell in front of my, let me see. Because you want to give it because you know how it felt and is not able to receive it. That's true. That's true. And you don't know what it is, so you can't get in touch in it. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Erica. Glad you're in this space today. Our word is kind, and I want to be kind to everybody constantly. I'm in a position of kindness. I don't know how long I have here, so I don't want it to be that the last time someone saw me, I was mean. I was, cursing at them or angry at them. I don't want it. I'm not, as I get older. Now, I don't know if I'll ever get to be adding some of my my bad language that I know. It's just that it's not generally a part of my conversation. It just isn't. But here's another one on kindness. This one doesn't have an author either, so noted. So I will say anonymously, it's written on the internet, but whoever it is, it's yours. It's called The Kind Reminder. It says there's no shortage of the kind of kind you extend every day to the patients, your pup, your family, to your community, and strangers all. Kindness comes from an abundance within you. Kindness is, all caps, you. There could never be enough. You could never not be enough. There's never enough kindness that you could give, and you can never not be enough in order that you give kindness or you're able to receive it. Kindness. So I like that one too. Um, I'm giving kindness this morning. I'm giving my kind of thank you. Okay. So it starts with what is kindness? What is kind? Before I ask you that, are you stuck? Have you been stuck in a position where you didn't know how to be kind to somebody? Maybe they weren't kind to you. Have you been in an argument this week with somebody over something that it's hard to change? Let's face it. It's hard to work through an argument if all of the elevated sounds are in anger. But if you do it in let's discuss this quietly, you know. But if they're high, you know, you got to go in another direction. It's just not going to work. Good morning, Lisa. How are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today. Our word is kind, and the idea of this, for those who are just coming in or have never been in my area before, of you know, are you stuck? I start out with what I think also adds to being kind, or to whatever the word is for the day. You can add on to that word using the beginning letter of the area that I'm in of the word. So today I'm going to start with kind, and it says it's character or nature. That's the kind I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the things that may look alike, such as, you know, all of the flowers, all of the trees, all of the birds, all of these. No, not that kind of kind. I'm looking for character and nature. And it says, which is things that talk about the essence of someone, the disposition, okay, the disposition, the makeup of them. Who are they? The caliber, the type, the stone. How many of you have met people that were really stony? They were just that. Knowledgeable is good, Joan. It says, it also talks about their style. Some people have a style of never smiling, never giving you eye connection, never thanking you for anything you've done, never appreciating anything that has been done for them. They are stoned. Okay. Um, it also talks about their manner and um, they're basically the description of who they are. That's, you know, you could sum it up: mean, nasty, whatever word you want to use. It says that sometimes it's a mask, and it is definitely a temperament. And sometimes it says that these particular people of that kind, of nature and character, have a tendency to be of the same ilk. They just associate with each other for whatever the reasons, you know, for whatever the reasons, not in any way intending to do anything good, but just not to do anything that may enhance what is being done. And that's life. You know, you learn to know that. Okay, key, I love that. Karma. Oh, okay, Debbie. Karma, key, kiss, kindred. Okay. Yeah, the spirit. That's good. Kindred. How many of us know those kindred spirits, you know, where they may be, you know, together only because they've formed an alliance around something that has drawn them together or keeps them together. You know, it truly is. Yeah, kindred is really good. Karma. Well, my first letter I have is keep. You know, it says, and the reason I said keep is a cause to continue in a specified condition. Keep, because I believe a lot of times when people are positioned to not be willing to be kind or anything. They keep the disposition that they have. They stay right there. You know, it may be their course that they're on and they like that course. They like it, where everyone may be on one side and they're on the opposite side. It says it's where a place where they can remain and continue to be who they are in their own way, you know, to stay where they are, carry on being who they are, go on being who they are, be persistent in who they are and consistent, and not cease to be, meaning that it's important for some people to remain, you know, just on the opposite of being kind. Now, for the people that are kind, they stay, they keep what they feel is the way to give this note of being kind to others. It may be a telephone call, or it may be a note. It may be, hey, let's go to lunch. It may, whatever it is. Hey, let's take a ride. Let's go walking. Whatever. You know, you understand it. You see it. When I move further on in the word, my I today is for to identify. I want to be able to identify my good side and my kind heartedness to others. So I do identify it. I've made it my own. It became mine, and I identify with it. So it says identify is to recognize or establish as being a character. It's part of who I am. It's your nature, the person or thing, to verify the identity of what it is. It is what it is. You know, my kindness is my kindness. Your kindness is your kindness. You know, whatever you do. Individualized, yes. And that's true, Joan. We are individualized. Impeccable. Okay, that's good. Icebreaker. How do you get people to come to the middle? How do you get them to do that? How? Explain that one for not right now. Explain it to yourself, how you get people that you've tried to befriend, you've tried to do things that are necessary, and they still see you as a way to be on the opposite side, no matter what, even though you've attempted to welcome the whole idea of how do we move forward. They're not interested in moving forward. Not with you. If they ever do, you know, if they ever do. So to identify is to analyze. Sometimes we have to analyze. Are we too kind? Are we not kind enough? You know, where is our kind behaviors? You know, did we let them go by? How do we classify what it is that we do for people? And what do we get in return? You know, if all you get is a stare or a, you know, like I've seen it where I've been nice to people, and you know, you barely get a smile, you barely get a thank you. And so you have to realize that sometimes you have to give yourself that kindness. You just said, you know what, I did all I could do. That could be the kindest thing you could say to yourself. I've done all I can do. I can't do anymore. Remember Popeye used to say that? Also, it says you must be able to describe how you feel about it. You know, the way I give out kindness, or the way I hope people give kindness to me, and I'm able to express it back. I'm identifying that I thought it was kind for them to do something. Like, I'm still old fashioned in the way that I do still give cards. I will send cards, and I just believe that in this age of where we've, you know, highly, you know, gone virtual on absolutely everything, to receive something from someone that was not expected, like a note, is still something that sings to the heart. It's still an act of kindness that can be remembered. You know, even if you throw the card away, okay, you still remember the act that was done, that they took the time to write a note, walk out to the mailbox, put up the flag, and comes to your house. I got one last week. Someone just sent me a card just to say thank you. You know, to me, it's easy to say thank you. It is very easy. So we have illustrate, impactful, um, impeccable, impress, impact, all of those. Those are good words. And when you think about who you are, you know, that's why I'm always talking about, are you stuck? Because we can take one word and take that word and expand it into so many things that surround the word. So that when we see the word kind, we don't just think of it as just one word. We think about all these other words that can be associated with this, which to me gives it more reason to, remain inside with us. That makes it a positive thing. One, we've increased our vocabulary. Two, we're looking at ourselves in a different light. So we're not just staying on the word, especially if it was a hateful word, or what it was a derogatory word, or it was a word of criticism, all those things. We remember them. We remember them. Identify is also to establish and to name, because sometimes we can't name our hurt. Okay, we can't name it. But a lot of times it boils down to the fact that someone was not kind to you. Plain and simple. Simple. You don't have to add anything to that. We move on further in the word of kind. I have narrow. I put narrow down for me. What would you use for your N? Narrow says to decrease in scope or sphere of limit, meaning to decrease. I think when people stop being kind to others, they've decreased their ability to reach out, to share, to acknowledge, to care. They've limited it. They've narrowed down. Necessity, natural. Okay, both of those are good. To me, it's a natural thing for me to want to be kind to others. For others, that would be totally not a part of their makeup. Period. The other one says needed. Oh, Ardelia, it is needed. I think for us to realize that to be kind is something that is needed by us and needed to give away to others. That's important to me. That's me. That's my makeup. For somebody else, it may not be so. They may not care if anybody ever says hello, or I care, or I love you, or would you like to do something for, your special day, the acknowledgement. They may not care. They may not. The norm, okay, Joan, that's true, because some things do become normalized. There is a norm that they stay in, and we understand that. It is their life of living life of what I call numbness. I want to be pricked in my heart. I want it to be that I know love and show love, that I know what it is to be kind and give kindness away. I want to know those things. I want to know what care is, how you give care to somebody. It's all important. Nourish. That's really good, Debbie. How do we nourish others? And how are we nourished? When it comes to our mind and our heart, those things are emotional. I don't care what anybody says. When you know that somebody, cares for you, that's an emotional connection. When they think about you, when they write you, when they call you, when they even text you. Like sometimes I just text people and say, hope you're having a good day, or have a good day. I'm not asking for them to engage because they may be busy, but just putting it there that I was thinking about them. That's kindness. That's kindness. Let's see. Now, I love that. Now, meaning presently. What's going on right now? That's really good, Ardelia. Also, noble. To me, it is a nobleness that comes with placing people in and a special part of your heart that just says, I will, and even people you don't know, I just was looking at TV this morning and looking at Maui and all that's going on there and just saying, Lord, show your presence, you know. And then they were talking about the kindness that was coming out of what others were doing. They didn't have anything or they didn't have much, but they were, like I think they said that all of a sudden 18 people were in a portion of the island that had not been totally devastated, but they said that they were doing their best, even though they didn't have much. Is that not kind? That's kind. It's beautiful. It's something from the heart. It's basic exposure of the feeling of giving, loving, caring. It's there. Okay, Debbie said notice. I like that too. You notice people. Sometimes people don't notice you, but you notice them. That's kind. Like yesterday, after my meeting, I don't know, it was one of those days, and I had gone to the store, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to drive all the way back home, another 12 miles. I'm going to stay down because I had to go to choir rehearsal. So what did I do? I went to a Dollar General, and there was a young lady there, and I had to buy because I didn't have anything with me, a change of clothes. So I just bought a little cheap $3 t-shirt and a $5 pair. I'm telling you, my dude, $5 pair of yoga pants, and they fit the purpose. So I asked her, I said, would you mind if I could use the bathroom? Because you could look and tell it was not a public bathroom. And I said, would you mind? She said, absolutely not. So she let me use their bathroom, and I was in there with the mops and the whatever, just to change. And at the end of that, I came back out and I said, what an act of kindness, because she could have said, we don't have any public bathrooms, but she was just genuinely nice. So I went out to my car but I asked her first. I said, listen, I said, I had I know it's a delicious lunch, but I said, I know you all have you have a microwave. I said, I don't know if you've had lunch, but if you haven't, I said, I have a lunch meal I'd like to give you. Would you accept it? And she said, absolutely. And I just felt good about that. I felt good only because she was kind to me. And the fact that she was kind to me, I wanted to reciprocate being kind to her. Kindness is just so simple. It doesn't require much. Sometimes if you just even give a smile, that's kindness. It can start with that. So anyway, once we narrow stuff down, it says we become so narrow that it's needlework, it's paper thin, we're on the skinny. We've just decided that we've crossed off a lot of things in our life that can make us happy. So we could be to the point where we've narrowed out not being kind. I narrow in being kind. I'm gonna be it right there. I just want to be a good soul, a good person to others. And that's my area where I stay in. Okay. Now my D says my kindness, I want to be distinctive. And the characteristic of one person or thing or serving to distinguish it from others. Meaning what I may do for my kindness to you may not be the kindness I do for somebody else. That makes it distinctive. Distinctive is that I may have a way of doing a lot of different things that you would never have thought of. But your kindness, the way you deal and give kindness to someone else is okay. It's yours. So my distinctiveness talks about it being flavored, characteristic, typical or atypical, individualized. There's that word again, Joan. Let's see, desire, to demonstrate, devoted. I love these. Delectable. Oh, yes, that's a good word. Disposition. There it is again. That character, that's disposition. Kindness comes in one's disposition. It's hard for you to rock me off of being kind. I'm going to stay there. But you can probably rock me with not being kind. Very much so. Okay, decent. I love that too. Decent is good. So, those are great words. My distinctive talks about it being typical, individualized, particular, sometimes peculiar to people. People who aren't used to other people being kind may find you to be peculiar when you're kind to them. You know, um, idiosyncratic, differentiating, unique. Sometimes our being kind may be unique to you, how you do it. Dutiful. I love that, Debbie. And decent, disposition, all of those, just great words. Distinctive, I like as being exclusive. Sometimes the way I do things is just the way Sandy does it, the way you may do it, the way Debbie does it, Joan does it, Angela does it. It's our way of doing what we do. It also talks about it being singular, and distinctive also talks about it being noteworthy. Now, the noteworthiness may be coming from your side when you find that you need to give it attention. That's the noteworthiness. The noteworthiness on the other side is how they receive it. Was it worthy enough that they made note of it? Was it? It's all in how they do. Okay, determined. Yes. Sometimes we have to be. Are we determined? I'm determined to do what I want to do. In spite of people doing what they do, I still want to continue to stay in the middle of my kindness towards others. It says distinctive also talks about it being exclusive, it being noteworthy, as I said, being uncommon and extraordinary. I like that word, extraordinary. I think it's a good word. I think it's a great word. And sometimes in our kindness, we can be original. We can think of things to do for others that no one else has thought of, not that we know of, but it's our way of doing things, that's the love of understanding the importance of just being kind, doing what I want to do. Absolutely. Absolutely, Claydine. I know. It's good to see you in the space. Delivery. Oh, those are good too. Department. Yes. It says hello from Kind Barbados. Hey, Barbados. Never been there, but I know you're enjoying yourself. Have a good time. Okay. Enjoy yourself, you and John. But life is just like that. You find out that one day you're on your way out of here. Thank goodness to all of us are still here right now. But in our process of life, for me, kindness has to be a part of it. Kindness. To be kind to somebody is at the top of my list. Love is probably number one. Kind is number two. Prayerful is number three. Grateful for them is number four. I mean, I just have so many words, that I could just put in that top 10 of looking at life. And, certainly hoping, praying, and expecting. Hi, Melissa. I loved your picture the other day. Somebody sent it back around again. Hi, Sweet Pea. How are you? It says, do unto others as you want to be done to you always. Absolutely, Debbie. Absolutely. We live, we love, we get hurt. But guess what? In the process, we still going to dig down in that heart again. We're going to bring it out. How many of us have done it? We're still going to attempt and make every attempt we can to love and to share and to be there for others. But listen, that's my lesson for today. That's my session. It's been a good one. I'm hoping that this weekend, if you can't do anything else, find someone to be kind to. Doesn't have to be much. You have to spend no money. It may be a smile. It may be a thank you. It may be, can I open the door for you? Can I pay it forward and get you a, I'll buy, the car behind me, whatever they're getting, it's just the idea that we can be kind to others and make this time here on earth worthy of care and love. And when we leave here, we can also say that we feel good about who we were while we were here. Thank you, Debbie. I love every one of y'all here. Have a great weekend. I love you too, Debbie. It says blessings and love to all. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. If you don't do anything else, hit that share button and let it be shared, okay? I love you guys. See you Monday. Bye-bye. Have a good